Welcome to historic Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We've got an NFC Championship rematch today here between the Albuquerque Vipers and the Green Bay Packers. Last time these two teams met, it was a close one, but Albuquerque punched their ticket to Super Bowl 55. This will have a big playoff implications, and Albuquerque is coming off of a dominant win against a lowly Tennessee Titans squad. Taking a look at the numbers, Albuquerque has been doing very well so far this season, ranked number 1 in rush defense. Green Bay's defense is ranked number 2 overall. Offensively, they are led by Travaris Sparks for the second straight season. He wins the starting job. He tosses that one out to Santiago. The running back from Montana gets taken down by his former teammate from Montana, Tommy Wynn, the linebacker. As you can see here, Santiago's having an all-right season in his, I believe, first year as the starter, and that is Eddie Jackson coming down with that reception. He leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns. Santiago runs that one to the left side of the field, and for the second time already today, Wynn brings him down, and now Tommy Wynn, a standout linebacker for Albuquerque, has to limp off of the field. Defense has to get a stop here on third down without the star linebacker out there, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Todd Hester nearly coming away with the interception. Orlando Cross's numbers are underwhelming so far, although he has missed some time due to injury throughout this season, but even then, especially that touchdown to interception ratio is not the prettiest thing. Deron Daniels, he's on pace for a second 1,000-yard season in his career, and he is challenging Cadillac Williams as the best running back in Vipers history. He picks up a solid gain right there and moves the chains. Give it to him again on first down and 10, and he is fighting through contact there, picking up another 9 yards. He's going to get a breather on this play as we're going to go to the fullback. Ben Strong goes right up the gut and picks up the first down. Levy stays in the ball game, and Cross is looking to throw upstairs for Vaughn Lewis. The big tight end gets us on Green Bay's side of the field. Looking to go to the air yet again. Cross has time, steps up into the pocket, and that's going to be a Jimmy Andrews touchdown. The wideout has had a slow start to the season so far, but that was a big play right there. Eddie Jackson comes down with that one, and this Green Bay offense probably has two of the best receivers in the NFL. Their other wide receiver won the Best Wide Receiver Award, number 88, Bill Bowens, a season ago. Down goes Santiago in the backfield. That is rookie defensive tackle Prince Harrison, who Albuquerque selected in the 3rd round. He has been showing out so far this season. Solid run right there is going to set up 3rd down and manageable. Sparks drops back to throw. He's got some good pass protection, and he's got his tight end downfield. Glenn Lawson with a nice reception, and Vince Taylor, a safety for Albuquerque, who's got a couple pick sixes this season, is going to have to leave the game. Here goes Santiago, some good blocking on the left side of the field. He's going to pull out the stiff arm and move the chains. Luckily for Albuquerque, it is just a broken thumb for Vince Taylor, and he will actually return to this game despite that injury. Entering the second quarter of play, now it's going to be a 3rd down and 6, and that's a great job by the linebacker, Javon Anthony, to knock that one away and force Green Bay to settle for 3. That was a long drive there to finally get them on the board. How does the Vipers offense respond? They're going to start off by making this a 3rd down and short. Brian Moore with that reception. Handoff is going to go to Deron Daniels, shut down at the line of scrimmage and holding on the play. Interesting to see that the Packers actually accept the penalty, giving us a second chance at 3rd down. Cross is going to take that second chance right here for Vaughn Lewis. Just an interesting decision there by the Packers to take it. It may not matter, though, if their defense can get a stop on 3rd down and 8, and that's exactly what they're going to do, as that pass is just a little bit off the mark, intended for the rookie Glenn Nash. Sparks is going to throw that one over the middle into traffic, and Bill Bowens is getting involved. Again, like I said, they got one of the best receiving duos in the NFL right now. This is like having Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne on your squad. 2nd down and 4 now. Sparks is going to fire that one to the right side, and it's going to be another catch there by Eddie Jackson. The only difference between this wide receiver core and that one on the Colts is they don't have a Peyton Manning. Granted, Travaris Sparks has not been bad at all, of course. He got this team to the NFC Championship game a year ago as the 5 seed. Bowens on that reception right there gets him down to the 10, essentially setting up a goal to go at the 2-minute warning. Sparks surveys the field. He's got Lawson, but he had to come back for that one, meaning they're down at the 1 or maybe the 2. Sparks is going to throw this one to the back of the end zone, and somehow that's going to be caught by Todd Hayward. The fullback lines up in the slot right here in traffic, makes a spectacular grab, and that's going to give Green Bay the lead. Here goes Albuquerque's offense now, trying to recapture the lead here before halftime, and they're going to do it very quickly. Jimmy Andrews with that 95 speed, using all of it, running down that left sideline, and the Packers' lead does not last long. 14-10 now on the ensuing kickoff. Here is Wiley making a move here, cutting that one back inside, and he's got green grass in front of him, looking like a Desmond Howard, rocking that number 81, and he is gone. Touchdown, Tony Wiley, and it doesn't take long for Green Bay to recapture the lead as Wiley does a Lambeau leap, and that's going to take us to halftime. So far, this game has lived up to the hype of being a playoff rematch, and heck, a potential playoff preview as these are two of the best teams in the NFC. Faced with an early 3rd down and 2, it's going to be a quick throw by the 6-time MVP Orlando Cross. Glenn Nash in the flat's going to get us out to midfield. Deron Daniels in the backfield. He's had a relatively quiet game so far today. He's going to pick up about 5 yards right there, making this a 3rd down and manageable. And we are almost going to convert it there, but Cross just a little bit off the mark. But Coach Brian Billick keeps the offense on the field. Cross steps back, fires, and he's going to be intercepted. Jamal Stevens, the safety, running down the sideline. Cross cannot bring him down. Pick 6 for Green Bay, just trying to force it there to convert on 4th down, and that's a situation you're just better throwing it away even though it is 4th down. Now all of a sudden Green Bay has a 2-possession lead. Jimmy Andrews, first catch of the day that doesn't go for 6, he picks up 4. Now Daniels with a wide open hole, but he still gets caught from behind there by the linebacker Luther Rivers. That's going to set up 3rd down in inches, and Cross is going to sneak that one across there and pick up the 1st. Firing that one over the middle, and what a catch by Brian Moore, the big man in coverage, but he couldn't make a play on the ball. Getting the fullback involved now, Ben Strong with his 2nd carry of the game goes right up the gut. Now on 3rd down and 12, Cross is going to float that one upstairs for Vaughn Lewis, and that's the 3rd time today that has worked. He loves going to him there, being the tall 6'7" tight end. Into the 4th quarter of play now, and unable to hang on to it right there is the secondary tight end, and instead we're going to have to settle for a Brian Koch field goal. That's going to make it a 7-point game yet again, but the Vipers defense has got to get a stop. Here goes Clay Malecki. His first carry of the game picks up a few. Now they're going to fake the give to him. Sparks has Glenn Lawton downfield, and the tight end's getting them on the outskirts of field goal range, which would make it a 2-possession ball game yet again. Santiago breaking out of the first tackle right there, sets up 3rd down and short. Looking for the conversion. Quick throw there by Sparks to a wide open tight end. Lawton definitely gets them in field goal range, but not so fast. They were caught holding on the play. Now they're going to give it to Hayward, the fullback, who's going to get flipped up right by the 1st down right there by his face mask. So even though he was short, they get the automatic 1st down on the 15-yard penalty, and Santiago is running with power. Goal to go now for Green Bay. Malecki's going to be just short. A touchdown here would be huge. It would be a 14-point game late in the 4th quarter here if they can get in. Luckily, they cannot as that was caught, but out of bounds, forcing Robbie Gould to make it a 10-point game. Still down by 2 possessions here with about 5 minutes left to play. Orlando Cross has got to lead us on a quick drive right here. Then our defense has got to get us the ball back, and then we have to score yet again. This looks like it could be our 3rd loss of the season. Nice throw on the move right there. Brian Moore, 3rd-year wideout, and one of our leading receivers this season actually gets us out across the 30. Pass to the right side is going to be caught by Nash, and the rookie is going to step out of bounds because at this point, every second matters. Cross is going to roll to his right. He's got Vaughn Lewis there for another Vipers 1st down, but we need more chunk plays. Cross has got time in the pocket, fires that one over the middle to a wide open Deron Daniels. The running back's going to pick up 9. 3rd down in inches now. Cross moving to his left, throws that one on the move. What a throw, and what a catch by Moore to keep both feet in bounds. Cross continues to move the offense downfield. Flush to his right. He's going to playmaker. Wide open. It's going to be Brian Moore looking for the end zone. Pushed out of bounds at the 4. After a false start, it's going to set us back to about the 9-yard line now. Cross taken down on the play as the Packers defense gets to him, trying to hurry up now before the 2-minute warning. And that's going to be a false start on the left guard. Now we got 3rd and goal from outside of the red zone. Cross is going to fire a strike, though. It's going to be caught by Brian Moore for 6. PI on the play. It's going to be declined. Somehow we convert there, and we're going to make it a 3-point game, but now it's all up to our defense to get the stop. We had the 2-minute warning on our side, and this run's not going anywhere. Great play made there by Diggs. 3rd down and 4. They're going to give it to Hayward. Shut down at the line of scrimmage. And we still have 1 timeout here on a potential game-winning drive. Cross is going to step up into this throw. Hit as he lets it go, but it's going to be caught by Kurt Workman. Just his 2nd reception of the season. Now Cross rolling to his right, testing what looks like one-on-one coverage. It does get batted away, though, and Deron Daniels gets a little bit shaken up there because it was a play action, and Green Bay bit a little bit too hard on it. That pass is going to be caught by Brian Moore, who's going to get flipped over the 1st down marker. 1 minute left to go. Cross fires that one to the right side of the field, caught by Glenn Nash, and he's going to tiptoe down the sidelines and step out of bounds. Luckily, Daniels will return to the game shortly, but right now Levy is in the ball game, and he's going to get the draw, trying to catch Green Bay off guard. It doesn't work, and in fact, they're going to start burning their timeouts now because Luther Rivers got shaken up making that tackle. Looking to go to the air now, trying to put together a touchdown right here so we can win this one in regulation, hopefully, instead of having to settle for overtime. We run the clock down to under 10 seconds left to play, looking for the win, but unable to drag the toes. They're looking for Hakeem Morton, who has had a quiet game. Instead, we've got to settle for this Brian Koch field goal, meaning we're going to have an extra quarter of play. It's 27-27. Vipers are the visiting team. They go with tails. Tails and never fails. And of course, this is old overtime rules, meaning it is sudden death. A field goal will win this one for us. Good run there by the rookie out of Arizona State, Marcus Levy. And Wade Schmidt, former Vipers safety, is limping off of the field. That is not good to see for Green Bay's defense when they really need to put together a stop. Here goes Levy on a good run, taking that one to the right side of the field, and that's going to pick up 6. Now on 2nd down, Levy's still in the ballgame, but the Levy is not dry. Close to that 1st down, can't quite get it, so now we're going to give it to Daniels, who's back in the ballgame after faking the give to the fullback, and he's going to pick up the 1st. Fake the give to Daniels, now testing the one-on-one, and Lewis unable to haul that one in. Luckily, it was not picked off of the tip. 2nd down and 10 now, and that pass is going to be caught by Moore. A tackle is going to be missed, meaning he can pick up the 1st down, and we are getting on the outskirts of field goal range. Daniels takes this one to the right side, falling forward. That's going to be about a 53-yarder now. Continuing to give it to him, though, because we want to get a little bit closer, try to set this one up. We do not want to miss it. Give it to Daniels yet again. He's going to cover that football and picks up about 8 yards on the ground right there. 2nd down and 3, and going to the air as Green Bay sends a blitz, caught by Lewis, but he loses the football. It's on the ground, recovered by Hakeem Morton, and the wideout's going to recover the fumble for 6. A game-winning walk-off touchdown by the #1 wide receiver who had such a quiet game today, recovers the fumble from the tight end and takes it all the way. I don't think I have ever won a game like that before. It could have gone Green Bay's way. They could have jumped on top of it, but no, luck was on our side. Great game here by Orlando Cross. His only big mistake was that pick 6, which did give Green Bay a good lead, but we were able to come back despite that. Almost 5 yards of carry for Daniels. Brian Moore had over 100 yards. So did Jimmy Andrews on just 4 receptions. He also had 2 touchdowns, but man, what a way to win that game. That's got to be one of the best finishes we've had throughout this entire series. Looking at some other big games this week, it was an opportunity for revenge for Benji Barton against the team that drafted him back in San Francisco, but the Niners had their way in this one. You also have the Minnesota Vikings at 7-2. This team picked in the top 8 last year. They used that draft pick on quarterback Craig Smith, who has really turned this franchise around along with new head coach Phillip Rivers. And then you have the Philadelphia Eagles beating the New Orleans Saints, a potential playoff preview right here. And the Saints are actually going to be our next opponent. Of course, they're coming off of a tough loss, only putting up 3 points. And Adrian Westbrook, who they traded up to draft to #1 overall a season ago, despite being in his 2nd year, is still not starting. Maybe they're trying to save his development, but they keep throwing Albert Harrison there, and he has more interceptions than touchdowns. Now, they are winning a lot of their games. They're 6-3 at this point of the season, and and this could also be a potential playoff matchup. I believe it was a season ago when Westbrook was also on the roster as the number 2 quarterback. I guess just during preseason, he ended up losing that battle, and I'm kind of confused why you would trade up for him and not play him. Maybe he's not ready and they're trying to preserve him, don't just want to throw him out to the Wolves, but it's not even like he's on a terrible team either, as this football is on the ground, recovered by Albuquerque, and what a start to this game. Granted, that wasn't a mistake by their quarterback. That was their really good running back coughing that one up. Now looking to go to the end zone, and Jimmy Andrews could only get 1 foot in bounds. We are starting this drive inside of the red zone now. Here's Deron Daniels picking up about 6 or 7 yards right there. Looking for the 3rd down conversion, and Cross wants to throw for it. Over the middle, caught by Lewis inside of the 5. That's going to be goal to go for Albuquerque. Toss play out to the right here for Daniels, and he's going to get in untouched for 6. Albuquerque jumps out to an early lead. We played the Saints at about this point of the season a year ago, and it was, again, they were at the time the number 1 seed, and right now they're in front of their division, and I believe they're actually one of the favorites to get a bye as of right now, but yeah, they have not been playing like it so far, as they're going to go 3 and out after their first drive results in that fumble. Cross rolling to his right. He's going to throw that one on the move to his running back. Daniels cuts upfield and picks up the first, gets the Vipers out to the 40-yard line. Now fake the give to him. It's going to be a quick throw out to the fullback in the flat. He's going to get taken down, but he picks up 8. Now on 3rd down in inches, it's going to be a QB sneak here for Cross. He picks it up. Looking to pick up another 3rd down, though this time he has 8 yards to go. Andrews on the catch, gets tackled across the 1st down marker, and keeping this drive alive. Dropping back to throw again. Here's Hakeem Morton on the reception, the big free agent signing that we got, a pickup from Baltimore, and he's going to set up 3rd down and 6 now as we enter the 2nd quarter of play. That pass intended for Lewis. Well played by the defense, though, as it's going to be knocked away, forcing us to settle for a Brian Koch field goal. 10-0 now. Saints looking to do something offensively, as they have not been good today. They got Chaz Duncan right there, though, for the 1st down. Now they're going to give it to Greer. Jermaine Greer follows some good blocking on that left side of the field, picks up about 8 or 9 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 1. Quick throw is going to be caught by Duncan. One-on-one coverage. Justin Williams tried to play the ball but couldn't get to it. Toss play now for Greer to the right side of the field. Tackled, but he will fall over that 1st down marker. Now coming out with no running back in the backfield. Harris surveys the field, but he's going to be pressured and sacked on the play. That was Triple J Jones, who's in a contract season, and I believe he's already listed as a draft bust for us. And I mean, maybe if he makes some more plays like that, though, he will get a new contract from Albuquerque. We're just going to have to wait and see. This is going to be a 54-yard field goal attempt now from Chad Erb. The 2nd-year kicker pulls it to the right. Some great field positioning now after that missed field goal, and here goes Deron Daniels picking up a few yards, and the man who brought him down, Eric McGrady, a fantastic linebacker for the Saints, is shaken up. Now on 2nd down and 7, Cross is going to be taken down. Saints get a big blitz right there and take him down for a loss of 7, leading to 3rd down and long. Cross looking downfield, and he's going to be sacked yet again. Didn't see anything like downfield, and trying not to replicate that mistake he had against Green Bay a week ago. Jermaine Greer on the carry. He takes that one to the right side, and that's going to be a pickup of 7 as we get an update on the Saints linebacker McGrady out for the remainder of this contest. Albert Harris launching that one into double man coverage, but it doesn't matter because JT Littman comes down with that one. Big time catch right there as he's trying to put together this 2-minute drill to finally get the Saints on the board, but that sack's going to take them out of field goal range. 2nd down and 17 with 1:30 left to play, testing the one-on-one coverage, and Littman again with the reception, breaks out of a tackle. A 2nd tackle is missed, and the Saints are on the board right before halftime. Albuquerque has a chance to extend their lead now here early in the 3rd quarter as they're going to get the football. Good blocking downfield there for Deron Daniels as he's going to get pushed over that 1st down marker. Cross dropping back to throw now over the middle. He's got Hakeem Morton, and we got to get the number 1 wideout more involved in the offense. Quick throw there's going to be caught by Brian Moore. Found some good space in the zones right there for an easy 3rd down conversion. Cross is going to float that one to the left side, caught by Lawyer Dumas, and that's going to get us inside of the red zone as we're looking to extend our lead. Cross dropping back to throw, fires that one to the left side, and it's going to be intercepted. And he saw Jared Pierce right there, the linebacker. He just thought that he could float it over him. Obviously, unable to do that here. These linebackers in the NFL are fantastic athletes. They will make plays on the ball like that, and that's just a mistake that a veteran like Cross should know better than to make. Luckily, the defense will be bailing out the offense as they force a quick 3-and-out. Here goes Orlando Cross again, looking to cook on offense. A little sidearm here to his fullback, Strong, who tries to run over a man. It doesn't really work, but he does pick up the first. Now Daniels to the right. He's going to fall forward yet again. He's been doing that a lot recently, but he's not given the first down. So that means it's going to be 3rd down and short, and there Daniels will convert it. After a holding penalty, it's going to be 1st down and 18, and here goes Daniel spinning around into open space. What a way there to open up the 4th quarter. 3rd down and 3, Cross looking for the conversion, looks downfield, in and out of the hands of Dumas. Well played there by the linebacker, forcing us to settle for a 52-yard field goal, which is nailed by Koch. Saints find themselves down by 6 now in the 4th quarter, but they are just one play away from taking the lead. It's not going to be this one, though. Keenan Long stopped inches shy. The offense is going to go for it, though, and here goes Jermaine Greer, pulls out the stiff arm into open space, and he is gone. Saints are going to take the lead here in the 4th quarter in what has been a pretty low-scoring and defensive affair. Cross is going to take a shot deep right here, though. Looking for Hakeem Morton, and he's got him. Brought down at the 15. Big play there right after a big play by that Saints offense. Here goes the fullback right up the middle, making it 3rd down and short. We are in field goal range, but a touchdown would be nice. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, though, after stepping out of bounds there before he could bring that one in. But the field goal from Koch will give us a 2-point lead. Under 4 minutes left to play, and this one is getting good. It's close right here, trying to throw this one into the flat. It's going to be caught, but out of bounds. And it looks like the Saints are going to punt this one away, trusting their defense, who gets us on a 3rd down and 11. Cross is going to step up into this one downfield. He was under some pressure, just takes a shot, and Perkins comes away with the interception. He does fumble the football, but the Saints do recover right at the 2-minute warning, essentially an arm punt. Defense has a chance to get a stop on 3rd down and 10 now. Albert Harris with a clean pocket surveys the field and launches this one downfield, looking for Keenan Long, who is able to haul that one in, but it looks like he was out of bounds. The booth will review it, and yeah, that's not even a catch in college. 4th down and 10 now. They need this. Game on the line. Long on the reception. He needed 10 yards. He only got 8 out to the 25. And that should just about do it, although the Saints do have all of their timeouts still. Albuquerque actually forced to burn a timeout as the left guard Joseph Santiago is shaken up on the play. Why are we helping the Saints like this? Here goes Deron Daniels, though. This is not going to help the Saints. That's going to be the nail in the coffin, as it's going to be a 9-point game after the extra point. Desperate times here for the Saints now. They got to score twice in the next minute and 20 seconds. Hurrying up to the line after picking up that 1st down. Harris, he's got time. Goes over the middle, intercepted by Tommy Wynn. And that is your ball game. It's going to be another W in the column there for your Albuquerque Vipers. 23-14 is your final. Similar to last week, it was another solid game by Orlando Cross. The 2 interceptions actually don't look great, but I don't really mind the second interception, essentially the arm punt. He was under a lot of pressure there on 3rd down, just was like, frick it, I'll launch it downfield, see what happens. That's probably about as far as a punt would have gone, but it does make his stats look not quite as good. How about this defense, though? Only giving up the 2 touchdowns, and the defense has been very good throughout this season. I have been very impressed by them. You know who hasn't been very impressive, though? The defending Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens, although recently they have won 5 straight after starting off on the worst Super Bowl hangover of all time. Only the New York Giants from back in the 80s had a worse Super Bowl hangover, and that doesn't really count because that was during a strike-shortened season where they had a lot of replacement players and whatnot, and obviously in this timeline, the Rams didn't win the Super Bowl in 2021 and then go on that terrible 2022 season, so the Ravens have the worst Super Bowl hangover in NFL history. As you saw there were some big games that took place this week, and the Houston Texans, coming off of a loss to the Buffalo Bills, are looking to rebound in what could be a Super Bowl preview. They have two of the top MVP candidates, Alex Malone and running back Jason Crawford, who won the award a season ago. This is going to be a tough battle for Albuquerque. And while this is the game of the week, I think there are a lot of fans, I would say a majority of fans across the NFL, who are just pleading and begging for this to not be the Super Bowl matchup this year. We saw this exact matchup in both 2016 and 2017. The fans out there across the league, they just want a little bit more variety. Of course, I want us to go to the Super Bowl, and I will play whoever we happen to face in the big game if we do happen to get there. Here goes Deron Daniels on a carry to the right side after the defense forced a good 3 and out, and look at Daniels running with power, spinning around and using his arms. Give it to him yet again, this time to the opposite side of the field, following some good blocking here, and early on, Houston's run defense does not look great. Nice run there by the fullback Strong to pick up the first down. Now Cross gonna fire that one to the left side of the field. It was a dangerous pass caught by Andrews, and he just does the rest, turning around and taking it upfield. The fans here in Albuquerque are loving it, as he just is seeming to get better and better every game this season. Defense looking to force a second straight 3 and out. They got him on a 3rd down and long. John Mitchell, their new wide receiver, #1 on the reception there, only for 1 yard. And this defense is looking great, and so is this Albuquerque run game. Deron Daniels just continues to gash the defense for what feels like 10 yards a carry. Even on this play where he doesn't get it, he falls forward for an extra yard or 2. Now 3rd down and 4, and Houston has had enough of this Vipers offense. They're going to bring down Orlando Cross right there. Burke Powell, their 1st-round pick from a year ago, credited with the sack. Down goes their quarterback, though, Alex Malone, who, of course, being in the MVP race like he is, one of the best QBs in the NFL, and after Orlando Cross, regressed a little bit in the offseason, he's down to a 97 overall, meaning Malone is the only 99 overall quarterback in the league right now. Defense does get yet another stop. This Vipers defense has been playing fantastic. Texans defense made a play on the ball right there, though. Here goes Daniels to the left side of the field. Great blocking by the fullback downfield. You can't ignore that. Get your fullbacks involved, and you got to highlight their big-time blockings. That's why I made a priority a couple of off seasons ago to go out and get them. Good reception there by Morton's going to get us on the outskirts of the red zone. Now going to the end zone, it's going to be caught by Brian Moore. One-on-one coverage, Cross saw it, and he took it. Take a look at this replay right here. Just a phenomenal catch. I think 3rd-year receiver I was saying earlier out of Portland State has been playing great, but how about Wolford here for the Texans? Cabrani Wolford takes that one all the way after the Vipers defense bites on the play fake, and that might just be the jump start that Houston needs. Deron Daniels on the reception in the flat. He's going to take that upfield, and eventually it leads to a 3rd down and short. Houston's going to run commit right here, leaving a wide open Vaughn Lewis down that right sideline. Stiff arms a man and gets out close to midfield. Marcus Levy now on the run is going to spin around and get us onto the Texans side of the field. 3rd down and 3, Cross testing the one-on-one coverage, and that's going to be caught by Lawyer Dumas. I guess there were 2 guys on him, but he was past both of them. 2nd down and 5, now here goes Daniels. Good run blocking downfield, and he gets in untouched as this Texans run defense has been struggling. 21-7 now, and Houston, who was previously 9-0, coming off of their first loss of the season, and it looks like it could be back-to-back if they don't get their stuff together here shortly. 2nd down and 4. They're going to toss this one out to Crawford, and the reigning MVP gets taken down right before he can get to that 1st down marker. 3rd down and inches, and Malone is looking to throw for it. Dumps it off to his running back, and he just does the rest of the needed work right there, converting on 3rd down. Malone drops back to throw again, and now he's going to test the one-on-one coverage down the right sideline, and John Mitchell makes a big play right there. The former Ravens wide receiver, he's actually their wide receiver 3 a year ago on that Super Bowl winning team, goes to Houston, and he becomes their #1 just right off of the bat, and he has definitely earned that title. He has been playing some great football. Nice reception made right there by Andy Millen. He's going to get them down to the goal line, and they're going to punch it in here with Jason Crawford for 6, making it a 7-point game yet again. About a minute and a half left to go in the first half of this game, and Orlando Cross is not done yet, trying to extend this Vipers lead. Nice catch made there by Morton, another former Ravens wide receiver from a year ago. Here is Moore down the left sideline there, pushed out of bounds at the 50. That's going to give us about a minute left to go now, and that pass is going to be caught by Moore yet again, cross-orchestrating a great 2-minute drill right here. Dropping back to throw, he's going to step up and wide open over the middle. It's going to be caught by Glenn Nash. The rookie has yet to get into the end zone this season, though, and it's not going to happen there. Now Cross rolling to his right under some pressure, and he is going to be taken down as Albuquerque is going to use their first timeout with 20 seconds remaining. Second down and 19 after that big play by Houston's defense. Cross is going to roll to his right, throw across his body, and he's going to be intercepted by Pruitt. Pruitt looking to take this one all the way, and none of those offensive linemen are going to be catching the DB. That is the easiest pick six of his career, and I don't know what Orlando Cross was doing. I don't know where he was looking, but instead of having a 2-possession lead or a 3-possession lead at halftime, it's going to be all tied up, and that could swing the momentum all in favor of the Houston Texans, as Powell is going to get his second sack of the ball game now as we open up the third quarter of play. I mean, this just feels terrible. Cross is going to be sacked yet again. First the pick six, and then the next drive back-to-back sacks. That one by Leon Dodson, who won the Best Defensive Player award from a season ago. And man, this is just feeling rough all of a sudden for Albuquerque in the game that was going their way. Luckily, that pass was out of bounds. Otherwise, Houston would have taken the lead. Albuquerque with the football back in their hands, setting up the wide receiver screen for Hakeem Morton. They give them some great blocking right there. He only gets stopped because he gets pushed out of bounds. Third down and 12, now looking for the conversion. Cross hit as he lets that one go, but still able to connect with Hakeem Morton, who gets onto the Texans side of the field. Now running the football again with Deron Daniels. Got to get back to it because he is averaging probably close to 10 yards a carry right now. He's going to get a little bit of a breather now as Marcus Levy is in the game. He's going to pick up the first. Now Cross is going to step up into this. They're looking to go to the end zone. And how about touchdown number 2 on the day for Brian Moore? He has just been racking them up. Albuquerque recaptures the lead after a rough end of the first half and beginning to the third quarter. There goes Crawford down the right side there, picking up a good game. They're going to give it to him again. A nice move right there as he had some solid blocking downfield as well to go along with it. He picks up 5. Now on third down, Malone wants the conversion to keep this drive going, navigating the pocket, but eventually time expires. Chris Diggs, who is coming off a phenomenal rookie season, makes a great play there. Here goes Deron Daniels going right up the gut. That's going to be a pickup of about 5 or 6 yards as we enter the fourth quarter of play. Third down and 1 after that run couldn't get it. It's going to be a dive there for Strong, and the fullback converts it. Cross dropping back to throw right here. He's going to go to the right side of the field. Great reception made there by the tight end, Lawyer Dumas, who I would love to continue to get more and more involved in the offense. He might be one of my favorite low-rated players on this team. And Morton, a high-rated player, gets all the way down to the 5. That's going to put him at 110 yards on the day. Orlando Cross looking around, surveying the field, and ultimately just gets rid of it here on third down and goal as he was under a lot of pressure, and he is going to avoid the sack, giving Brian Koch an opportunity to make it a 10-point ball game with under 5 minutes left to play. They're going to send a little bit of a blitz here on third down and 11, but Cabroni Wolford comes down with that one despite all of the coverage around him. On just 2 receptions, he already has 111 yards. That's going to get them onto our side of the field. Nice throw there by Malone on the move to get it out to his running back, setting up third down and 4. Looking to keep this drive moving as they would like to get into the end zone, although I think they would settle for a field goal at this pace now if they had to, since they are down by 10. Here goes Crawford to the left side, gets them into the red zone. It's going to be second down in inches. Malone, he's going to take the snap from under center and connects with Wolford for another reception. He's really been his go-to guy here on this must-need drive. This catch is going to be caught by Millen. The tight end dives for the end zone, can't quite get in. That would have been his second career touchdown. Instead, they're going to throw this one up top for John Mitchell, who just mossed that cornerback right there. That's going to make it a 3-point game yet again. Here goes Glenn Nash now, the rookie, on the kick return. He's going to get into space across midfield. The 40, they're giving chase, but I don't think they're going to catch him. How about that for your first career touchdown in the National Football League? The second Glenn Nash in Vipers history is in the end zone for the very first time to make it a 2-possession game yet again against one of the best teams in the NFL. And then Darren Gordon, the nail in the coffin. the closer, the dagger. What a play right there, both by the rookie kick returner and then the star cornerback. That first down is going to force Houston to burn their final timeout. Newsome limping off the field, and Albuquerque runs out the rest of the clock for a huge win against maybe the best team in the NFL, 38-28, giving Houston back-to-back losses. Orlando Cross had a great game, 333 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that one terrible interception. I just hit the wrong button. I believe I hit L1 instead of R1 is what I meant to do, I believe. I think I was trying to scramble out instead. I threw across my body into coverage. Terrible throw. Thank goodness it didn't end up costing us the game, but man, the momentum doesn't swing any more than that when it looks like we might go up by 3 possessions before halftime, and then all of a sudden the game's going to be tied up, or go up by 2 possessions, I guess, before halftime, and all of a sudden it's tied up. Crazy way for the game to get way too close for comfort. There was a big game out in the NFC East, and this could determine who wins this division, and it looks like it should go to Philadelphia. A 17-point win here over the Redskins, who did not play well. Then you have the Baltimore Ravens. They lose their 5-game winning streak in hopes to get back to the playoffs, and they still could, but you lose to what was at the time a 1-win Chargers team. Dejon Beasley also threw 3 interceptions in that one. Our next opponent is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. They're coming off of a 3-point loss to the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be our first time playing the Cardinals this season, and they've got a brand new signal caller who they traded up to draft number 1 overall. As you can tell by the numbers though, despite having a new quarterback who's pretty highly rated, the rest of the team is still very much struggling, especially the defense. Blaine Brown comes into the NFL as an 88 overall. Now, of course, his numbers are not great, but his build is fantastic, and I think if they can develop him, as long as he doesn't regress too hard from, playing on a bad team and maybe some bad morale and bad coaches. I mean, Joe Barry is this team's head coach, and he has been for the better part of the last decade. As long as they can actually build around him and give him some support tools, I think that he can actually be a solid quarterback. So actually, even though they are inside of our own division, I'm hoping that they don't ruin him, and maybe we can get a little bit of a rivalry going between us and Arizona. Here goes Deron Daniels on a carry after a quick Arizona 3-and-out, and they also lost their running back for, I believe, about the next quarter or so of the game, so not good for them. Our running back is not lost, though. He breaks out of a tackle, a group of tacklers, and takes it all the way to the crib from over 50 yards out, as we do see that Gainer will be out for the next quarter or so, but what a run there by Deron Daniels. Blaine Brown without his number 1 running back in the game, just make it even tougher for him there. Yeah, no running back, especially a backup running back on their team, is going to be able to stop Daryl Fannin, and then we get to him again, sending the cornerback blitz here by Justin Williams, and yeah, he didn't even see him coming. Great call by our defensive coordinator. Here goes Deron Daniels to the left side of the field now, very close to that first down marker. On 2nd down and inches, get the fullback involved, Ben Strong, the former Arizona Cardinal, with the first down. Now on 3rd down and 7, the Cardinals are going to send some heat, forcing Cross to throw that one, try to force it out to Jimmy Andrews, but there are 3 Cardinals players there to knock that one away. Launching that one downfield, and it's going to be caught by Jay King. The speedy receiver somehow gets caught by Justin Williams right there. King, one of the best return men in the NFL, but he can also be a solid receiver at times as well. Originally a 1st-round pick by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a number of years ago now. Toss play here for Warren, and the backup running back is not going anywhere. Darnell Warren taken down at the 25, forcing them to settle for a field goal. But hey, at least they're able to get on the board and make it a 4-point game. Daniels on our carry to the right side, spinning around, and this feels kind of similar to the Texans game where Daniels can kind of just do whatever he wants on the ground. On 3rd down, we got the conversion there to Hakeem Morton, getting us just across midfield. Now faced with a 3rd down and 8, Orlando Cross wants to throw for it over the middle. It's going to be Andrews cutting it upfield and picking up the first. Offset I formation, it's going to be a handoff to Daniels. To the left side, the first contact is able to bring him down, but he still picks up a solid gain. Now on 3rd down, they're going to run commit, but we're looking to go to the air. It's Jimmy Andrews on yet another reception, this time getting us down inside of the red zone. Daniels on a carry to the left side of the field, picks up 6 yards on the ground. No running back in on second down. It's going to be a catch on that right side of the field. Glenn Nash gets us down to the 4. Here goes Marcus Levy. He attended Arizona State. He grew up a fan of the Cardinals, but he's doing it to his old childhood team. Robert Gaynor is back into the game, and he's actually having a great season in his second year now for the Cardinals, and they have some solid offensive pieces to build around. It's just everyone else is pretty meh. I mean, they have some of these offensive linemen starting in like the 70s, which in Madden 26 is all right, but in this Madden, I mean, if you're below an 80, you should probably be like at least a backup, if not a third stringer for a lot of these teams. Orlando Cross looking to throw after the defense get us a stop, but he just stands in the pocket for way too long and takes a 9-yard sack. Quick throw out to the flat's going to be caught by Von Lewis, and that's going to make third down a little bit closer, but still 13 yards to go. Looking for Brian Moore, and he's got it. We needed 13 yards, and that's exactly what we were able to pick up right there. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning now. Here's a draw play for Daniels, and he's going to get very close to the first down. Cross dropping back to the throw. It's going to be a wide open Brian Moore. He cuts it back upfield, and we are on the outskirts of the red zone. Dropping back to throw yet again. Cross has Hakeem Morton on the reception. That's going to set up a goal to go now for Albuquerque with about half a minute left to play here in the second quarter. Nash on the reception, trying to get in, still has yet to have a receiving touchdown in his career, although he does have that kick return from a week ago. But now Von Lewis is going to finish the job for 6. Touchdown, Albuquerque. That's going to take us to halftime, where we have been dominant so far. 18-point lead, and we're looking to extend it. Daniels takes this one to the left side of the field. Can't quite get to the 50, but still a good run, as that's going to put him over the century mark already, averaging over 13 yards per carry. Quick throw here by Cross is going to be caught by Brian Moore, who continually gets more and more involved in the offense, it seems. He picks up 6. Now going over the middle to a wide open running back, Deron Daniels. He can do it on the ground. He can do it in the air too. 46-yard receiving touchdown. Here's Robert Gaynor on the carry, and that's a solid run, but it almost feels like at this point in the game, Arizona cannot afford to run the football. They have to put this into the hands of their rookie quarterback, who does connect with Powell right there. Nice reception, picks up 6. They got to continue getting these chunk plays, though, down 28-3. And how about a chunk play right here? Jay King burnt his man, and he's going to get tackled into the end zone. Cardinals finally get a touchdown. Blaine Brown able to show off that big arm there that he had at Miami. And I mean, when we got to play with him at the Senior Bowl, he just felt so good. He felt so fun to play with, and just we knew that we were not going to be able to get him. We weren't going to be able to trade up with the Patriots up there to take him. But here goes Deron Daniels on maybe the longest run of his career. This is going to be 90 yards. There are no flags. That was just phenomenal blocking, downfield blocking by the receivers, and then after the spin move and the missed tackles, he was gone. Defense is playing some great football right now too, as we continue to take down the rookie quarterback, trying to shake his confidence. He's just going to dump this one off to Gaynor, immediately tackled though, and just gets back to where the original line of scrimmage was there for that set of downs. Daniels is not done yet. How about another 15 or so yards right there? Over 200 yards for him now. This has got to be the best game of his career. Over 21 yards per carry, over 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the day. Don't forget his 46-yard receiving touchdown that he had earlier in this one too. This field goal by former Cardinals kicker Koch is going to be up and good from 51 yards out, making it a 28-point ball game. Somehow that was not intercepted. In fact, it was caught by Jay King for a first down. Brown dropping back to throw. He's got a man open over the middle. It's going to be Gaynor getting his running back involved in the receiving game out to midfield. Brown dropping back yet again to throw, pump faking, and he goes down yet again. He seems to hold onto the football a little bit too long, a mistake that can be common among rookie quarterbacks. Hopefully he will get better from here in future seasons, as long as they're able to properly develop him. 3rd down and 9. This is going to be a play fake, a quick throw, but the receiver was not looking for the football, and that's what I mean when I say they got to surround him with good players that know to look for the football. Instead, Blaine Brown gets shaken up there, meaning on 4th down, quarterback Jared Watts, the backup, is in the game, throws it into coverage. It's incomplete, and these Cardinals fans have had just about enough. Luckily for Arizona, Brown will return to the game, but I don't think it's really going to matter with under 8 minutes left to play. We've got ourselves a 4-possession lead. There goes our running back Daniels picking up a good gain. Give it to him again. He's got yet another first down as he continues to just own this Cardinals team. Got backups in the game now. Here goes Ryan Franks. His first carry in a couple months, honestly. He picks up 9 yards. Daniels back in the ballgame, even though I substituted him out. I think he was in formation subs here or something, so he's always in this formation, and hopefully that does not come back to hurt us because he got a little bit shaken up on that tackle as he was kind of stat padding, looking to add on to more of his game. Here goes a Levy, the rookie, down inside of the 10. Couldn't run that man over, which is one reason why we brought him in, but you know what? I'll still take it. Luckily, Daniels is right back and healthy into this ball game. Can't punch it into the end zone, though, so we're going to settle for another Koch field goal, which will just extend our lead even more. It's a 31-point ball game now, and Powell is actually the return man here, not Jay King, but now Powell injured on the play, and he's actually been a solid receiver for them. Kind of has that Patriots build when it comes to wideouts, but he has been pretty all right for Arizona throughout his career and his time here. Unfortunately, that was the final play of his season, as he's going to be out for the remainder of the year. Pass over the middle is just going to fall incomplete, and Arizona's just tired. They just want to go home. I mean, they already are home, but they want to go to their actual houses, go back home, and just get out of here because this has been tough. After a Vipers 3-and-out, Albuquerque's still playing, or actually the Arizona, I should say, still playing for some pride, but we get to the quarterback yet again. That's the rookie that we took in the 7th round out of Clemson. Over the middle, Hawkins, he knew the football was coming to him this time. He makes that catch over the middle and picks up a first down. Brown looking to throw, and his offensive line's actually giving him time. He's going to step up into the pocket just to be intercepted. Makes his first big mistake of the game, and this looks like it's going to be a costly one. Of course, Todd Hester, the nephew of Devin Hester, and he almost has the speed of his uncle. He's going to take that one all the way back for 6, and Brown cannot believe it. 48-10 is your final here in Arizona. A rough game for the Cardinals, but I mean, honestly, you can't be too surprised. This is a Super Bowl contending Vipers team against a Cardinals team that is looking for that first overall pick once again. Great game here by Orlando Cross, a mistake-free game, but he was not the story of the offense. Take a look at what Deron Daniels did, 242 and 2 touchdowns on just 14 carries. He had 17 yards per carry. He also had a receiving touchdown. Von Lewis had the other receiving touchdown for Albuquerque, but yeah, Daniels 1 for 46 and a score. The defense only giving up 10 points in this ball game. We got to the quarterback a number of times, and then Hester with the cherry on top. Looking at some big games this week with playoff implications. The Jets take down the Raiders. Both these teams are looking probably for wild card spots, and the Jets have a little bit of an advantage now. The San Francisco 49ers take down the Houston Texans. That's 3 losses in a row now for what was a formerly 9-0 team. And finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars take down the Seattle Seahawks, who have had just such a fall from grace. They seem to be tanking for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe there's a quarterback in the draft that I don't know about that they really want, because they are not playing well. Deron Daniels, with that spectacular performance, gets NFC Offensive Player of the Week, while former Vipers running back Blake Flowers gets AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Taking a look at the standings now across the NFL with just 4 games left to go, and it looks like Cincinnati, for the first time in this franchise, will be getting a home playoff game. In the South, the Texans are still in front of the Colts by 2 games, but losing 3 in a row is not pretty. The Bills are currently the top seed in the AFC. The Jets are 3 games behind them, and the Dolphins, who were the top seed a year ago, are not going to be returning to postseason play. The Chiefs have a 2-game lead over the Chargers, or actually I should say the Raiders. The Chargers and Broncos are not doing too well. Minnesota looking for their first home playoff game throughout this entire series as well. The Packers and Lions are not out of it yet though. The Saints are the only team with a winning record in the South, but the Buccaneers and Falcons both sitting at 500, just 2 games behind New Orleans. The Eagles with now a 2-game lead on the Redskins, the Giants, and especially the Cowboys not doing so hot. And finally, the Vipers are on top of our division. The Niners, after a slow start to the season, are all right. And for the first time in forever, the Cardinals are not the bottom dwellers of this division. If the playoffs started today, this is how it would look. We would actually be the top seed along with the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles, it's cool to see some teams like the Vikings, Raiders, and Bengals, who normally wouldn't be here, potentially in the playoffs in 2021. Giants quarterback Max Hawk has the most passing yards with just 4 games left to go. 2,500 is enough to lead the NFL. This is a low season when it comes to passing. Alex Malone and Dennis Parker both have 23 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Statistically, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league. Benji Barton only 6 picks, but he's also missed some time. And Anthony McCollum is just as terrible as when we played him. Dejon Beasley, sad to see him not doing very well because he was a former backup quarterback of ours, and this is a huge loss for Miami. Lamar Henderson is injured. Despite that, he still has a 150-yard lead on second place Kansas City's Michael Brown, and Lance Bender's the only reason Tennessee has even won any games or put up any points on offense. Second year in a row where Ben Dockett looks like he will finish the season leading the league in receptions. Kevin Clay is your first receiver to reach the 1,000-yard mark, but you have several solid receivers behind him, including Jamarcus Ward. You have Beal with the only receiver with double-digit touchdowns, one of the few bright spots on a pretty lowly Patriots team. Derek Stone on the Seahawks, hey, at least they have that. He leads them in tackles. Tommy Wynn with the most tackles for loss. Santana Thomas and Andrew Gooden each have 15 sacks right now, which is very impressive to see. With 4 games left to go, we could see that sack record get broken. Orlando Cross has 1,800 yards, 16 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Not the best of numbers, but I'm not considering playing anyone else. I know Coyle played pretty solid in Cross's absence, but let me tell you, now that I play with the vision cone, having that vision cone is an absolute game changer, and Cross has that 99 awareness. It's a beautiful thing. Deron Daniels over 1,000 yards for the second time in his career with 4 games left to go. Heck, he might get to 1,500 yards on the year. I would love that. He had, of course, his big game against Arizona, and he was doing very well against Houston as well. Hakeem Morton is our leading receiver, but Brian Moore is right behind him in both yards and touchdowns. Jimmy Andrews, after a very slow start, is over 500 yards now, and he's gotten into the end zone 5 times. Of course, we have a lot of TFLs. The user just typically seems to get a lot of those, of course. Daryl Fannin with 8 sacks. Chris Diggs right behind him. Roger Long is getting more sacks than usual. We're putting him on the line sometimes, and he seems to do well there. And then you have a lot of guys with just 1 or 2 on the season. Vince Taylor, 5 picks, 4 for Gordon, 3 for Anthony and Wynn. And then Hester Williams, among several other guys, have just 1. And then Brian Koch, perfect on the season. Michael Brown is now the favorite to win the MVP. Running back for the Chiefs, Jason Crawford and Alex Malone right behind him. Then Lomas Gonzalez on the Bengals, and Lamar Henderson will not be winning it this season, which is very unfortunate for him. Next episode will be a matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. That will be the regular season finale of season 16. You're not going to want to miss it as we make a push for the #1 seed in the NFC. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leaving a like is always very much appreciated. And until next time, this has been Jeffrey.